welcome to the W Show. Thanks to NAB. It's great to have your company, Nat Edwards and Daisy Pearce, with you. Days, 3 more rounds until finals. Things are really hotting up.
It came around quick, didn't it?
It sure did.
And when you look at some of the fixtures, it feels like we're heading into finals already. We get a little preview. Very exciting.
Indeed. We will get to that in just a moment, but let's kick things off by taking a look at what's making headlines this week. The blowouts continue. The Crows registering their highest ever score and the second highest in AFLW history, if you don't mind. Another fixture tweak with the Eagles and Cats move from Sunday to Monday, and Tani Brown and Daisy Bateman are this week's NAB AFLW Rising Star nominees. But Days, we talk about round 7 and there's probably about 4 blockbuster matches, but all of them are very watchable, in fact. Let's take a look at what's coming up because it's a tantalising prospect. I'm looking forward to Saturday night, your game, Melbourne up against the Crows, but we've got all top 8 sides playing each other.
Yeah, couldn't have scripted it any better. I mean, they're sticking to a very strict framework to maintain the integrity, but could be a little bit of the benefits of making the fixture up on the run this round, that you get to match them up like this.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we know that North Melbourne, the Bulldogs, the D's and the Blues are still around that mark trying to fight for those top 6 spots before we obviously hit 3 weeks of finals, so it's all very tight.
It could shift really quick, I think. I mean, if those sides win this weekend, other teams might find themselves in that predicament. So I think the ladder's going to shuffle a lot over the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be a good run home.
Cannot wait for that. Now, during the week, I managed to catch up with Daisy Bateman. As I mentioned, she's one of the Rising Star nominees for this week, thanks to NAB. And I caught up with her just to ask her all the important questions in life. Rising Star Daisy Bateman has been good enough to join me on the W Show. Daisy, congrats on the nomination.
Thanks for having me, Nat.
Now we're going to get to know you a little bit better. First question off the bat, LeBron James or Tom Brady?
Oh, LeBron James.
Pineapple on pizza or no pineapple on pizza?
No pineapple on pizza.
Rock or pop music?
Oh, pop music.
Favourite North Melbourne AFL player?
Oh, hard one. Let's go with Nick Larkey.
I like it. Would you rather explore outer space or go deep diving under the sea?
Deep diving under the sea.
Sauce in the pantry or the fridge? This is a hard one.
Fridge every day of the week. It's meant to cool it down.
What? No, I'm a pantry person for sure. Childhood celebrity crush?
Gosh. It would have to be Zac Efron or Justin Bieber, for sure.
Yeah, I like both of those choices. Well played. Guaranteed $100,000 or a 50-50 shot at $500,000. Which one would you take?
Go safe with the 100,000.
Yep, I like it. Who's your most annoying teammate?
Oh, either Emma Carney or Beth Lynch. And
your weird pre-game ritual, do you have one?
Yeah, I definitely do. All my teammates would vouch for this. I colour in before a game.
Like mindful colouring?
Yeah, mindful colouring in.
I love that. What is it about it that just calms you down?
Yeah, it just distracts me. It's just something to get me in the zone, and I'm pretty picky with the books I use, and I colour in with gel pens, which is unique.
I like it. Daisy, thanks so much for joining us on the W Show.
Thank you for having me.
Just a little bit of mindful colouring. Could you imagine yourself doing that before a game?
Might give it a go. I'm very loose and fluid in terms of what I do pre-game. It's no real routines, but I might give that a crack. I can see how it would be quite relaxing.
Are there any weird rituals that happen pre-game out of your teammates?
Oh, none that spring to mind that are that weird. But no, Daisy and I had a laugh when we played against North Melbourne. It's just not very often that either of us have come up against many Daisies. So every time the opposition runner called her name, I was looking around, and a couple of times nearly took a North Melbourne drink bottle because they thought they were offering it. I thought they were offering it to me. But yeah, so it's good to see a few more Daisies popping up around the place. Yeah. And she's a star too, that one.
She is. She played very, very well at the weekend. All right, time now for your deep dive. Where are you taking us today?
Well, I want to go individual player this week because Classy Darcy has been on my radar in recent weeks. She's kicked 7 goals in the last 3 rounds, having only managed 1 previously up until that point in the season. I feel like she's really getting going now, Nat.
bit of a purple patch, really. And that is the best goal score that she's had, or goal tally, since 2017 when she kicked 14-4.
Yeah, so, I mean, all the talk coming into this season that she was really fit, and she looks fit, looks strong, she's covering the ground really well, and it's always been a bit of a predicament. Do we leave her close to goal where she can really impact the scoreboard, or get her up higher? I think what we're seeing now is that she's fit enough that she can do both.
Yeah. When
the situation demands that she come up to win the footy for Carlton, she does, and then she's able to work back and then hit the scoreboard as well. So dangerous. In the air, you know, you have to be right on her, but then ball comes to ground and the job's not done because she's so agile at ground level as well. Really smart with the way that she kind of reads the play, knows where the space is, and always is able to find it. But this is the thing I've loved in the last 2 weeks. Absorbing the tackle, taking on physical contact, which means that two players have to come to her, and then able to find a teammate in space. Here again to set up Pearce. Just sheer strength, but also smarts to know that the teammate's there because she's taken two defenders.
Yeah, we often say no Pearce, no Blues, but do you think Darcy is a bit of a barometer for how they're travelling?
Yeah, not just for what she does, but she's an energy player as well. Like, you can see she really lifts the spirits of the team when she kicks a goal because she's so exciting. And I thought it was a big game on the weekend with Harris out. She really took responsibility up there.
Now, Darcy wasn't the only one with her goal-kicking boots on over the weekend, and we should highlight, and I know we've spoken about her before in Star Power, but Freo's Gemma Hatton can't go past a 5-goal haul.
Nah, she was impressive, wasn't she? I mean, look how hard she works on the lead. She knows where the space is, and then if it takes 3 efforts to get herself into it, she does. And, I mean, it was on the end of some pretty good delivery there. The teammates really looking for her, but finishing skills outstanding. She's got that quick play on too that often catches defenders off guard. After taking a mark, she'll know if there's space out the back, and she's quick to get going. So she's a star. She's
so hard to match up on too. And the other star that we saw on the weekend, Danielle Ponta, great to see her sort of getting back into some form. 4 goals from her, and you're going to come up against her on the weekend. She's going to be a hard one to curtail.
Yeah, one of many at Adelaide. Put her on the list, but no, she's a real up and coming. The shift I've noticed with Danielle Ponta, just owning that forward line a bit more this year. Not a bit aware of having to give off the handball. As soon as she gets possession, you saw there, knew where the goals were, wanted to take responsibility and kick the goal. So really starting to mature into that position.
Yeah, just find some confidence and really just backing herself in to get the score, and she's doing that brilliantly. So on Gemma, though, she becomes one of just 2 AFLW players to kick more than 5 goals, or 5 goals or more in an AFLW game, so joining Brooke Lachlan there. Now, I just want to point out, though, it would be remiss of me to not mention another goal-kicking star from the weekend, and Daisy Pearce, you happened to find yourself up forward during the weekend's match against St Kilda. Just tell me, as we roll some highlights, which I'm sure you've watched plenty of times this week, how did this whole conversation come about?
I think you asked me this weeks ago whether I'd find myself up there, and I said never.
Yeah.
But obviously never say never. No, it was part of, you know, obviously we've had a few issues up there with accuracy. That's not what I went there to solve. But the other issues have been our ability to retain it in our forward 50. We've given up quite a few uncontested marks, and the ball's been rebounding out there quite quickly. So I went up there mainly for a structural thing to make sure we didn't give St Kilda loose players behind the ball that were going to stop our goal scoring ability, but then set up their offense with their uncontested play that they often get into. So that was the main focus. And then just to give a bit of energy and change the look of things up there, because it's been a pretty tense environment over the last couple of weeks, kicking 3 goals 20.
Well, you certainly provided some excitement as well with your celebration. Let's just take a little replay of your goal celebration. I heard you after the match in an interview saying it was all about killed or be killed, which I can only imagine is a reference to the Hunger Games.
It is a movie that I have not seen. I ought to mention. But no, it was a bit of a theme during the week, and we walked into our Oppo meeting with my very not so pretty head superimposed onto Katniss Everdeen. That's how I'm going. So then, everyone was saying, you've got to do this salute. This is what she does. This is what you have to do if you kick a goal. And I was saying, no, there's no way. It's not my style. But I knew darn well that if I was going to kick a goal, I was going to do it.
Well, you did it well. It looked good. Can we expect to see you up forward again against the Crows this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I'll be starting to clear them out by this weekend. They're going to have to push me back out of there now that I've...
Oh, God. What have you created, Mick? Your coach.
No, he knows wherever he needs me, I'll go.
Team player is Daisy Pearce, but loves watching herself. She wanted this whole show to be just highlights.
I'm going for Gemma Hatton next. I want to get on that list. No, not really. I'm going for Darcy Vessio's 3 goal assists. That's more my style.
That's definitely more your style. All right, I found a quirky little record or stat during the week, and this is quite interesting. Caitlin Ashmore, we know what a star she's been over such a long period of time, but she's now posted her 25th AFLW career win, which is more than any other AFLW team. So Adelaide's had 24 wins as a team and they've got 2 flags, but 25, geez, that's good.
Yeah, very good. And better than any other team.
Yeah, what does she bring to us? I mean, I know that she's played at very successful teams in the Lions and the Roos over the years, but what does she bring and add to a team?
Yeah, well, she's that really good outside winger, holds good position, so smart, doesn't get sucked into the contest, and then works really hard at both ends of the ground, as all wingers do. But I think the fact that she's been in those 2 successful teams and plays that position really helps, because it can be a lonely place out there if a team is struggling. But she's been part of the reason those teams have been successful, and she's been so consistent, but also benefited from teams that are able to play really good structured footy as well, I think.
Well, let's take a look at the ladder as we head into round 7. And as we mentioned before, it's all very, very tight. The D's obviously popping into the top 6 after the win over St Kilda. I mean, it's really must win every week now for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think most teams, a lot of teams would be saying the same thing, because whilst you might feel pretty comfortable, you know, let's say in 3rd or 4th, for example, you're only a loss away from then being on the cusp of falling out. So I think most teams would have that mentality now.
How do you handle the pressure of that week to week?
I almost think it's a good thing. Like, we're embracing it, that we've got Adelaide, Freo, Brisbane Lions, and this is using our example, other teams in a very similar boat. But we have to beat the best teams in the comp to get there.
Yep.
So if we're good enough to get there, we'll be there with the confidence that we can beat, you know, any of the other finalists. Yep. So it's not a bad pass. You don't have to worry about form and whether the game was finals-like intensity. It's going to be.
Yeah, no, it's great preparation, as you mentioned. What are you looking forward to seeing this weekend?
I am looking forward to Fremantle and Carlton. I think that's going to be a really intriguing game. Blues just starting to hum. Press Parker's back in after the suspension. Vesio in form, like we said. Grace Egan, I think, has really stepped up into her role. Harris should come back in for the Blues, who was a bit of a mysterious out last week.
She's carrying an injury?
She must be. I mean, they said managed, but if you manage a player in a must-win game, which it was for Carlton against Geelong, you're saying she's got a niggle and we think we can win anyway, is basically what that means. But yeah, I think she'll get back in. But yeah, big game, because Freo hasn't had to play against many of the top 4 teams from last year, and they haven't had to travel. So they now come up against Carlton on Carlton's home deck. Intriguing. Yeah, very intriguing. Lions and Collingwood for mine. How do the Lions beat Collingwood and end their undefeated run? Because we saw them do that against the Dockers. What's the key, do you think? I think it's not a bad matchup. Collingwood have been the best in the comp for that uncontested chain of possession, and Brisbane Lions, we know, are very disciplined and good defensively. So it should be a good matchup, like you say. Oh, certainly will. Best of luck out there this week, and I'll see you out at Casey. And thank you so much for joining us on the W Show. Thanks to Nab. We'll see you again next week.